Rebecca.
And we are doing Bickering books, and you can kind of tell from our background, but today we are going to talk about, because it's Hogwarts, we are talking about Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which is being marketed as the 8th story in the Harry Potter Legacy Saga series, whatever you want to call it. This one is actually based off a play that is currently playing in London, and it takes place 30 years after the end of everything in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and it focuses on Harry's youngest son going to Hogwarts and his experiences there. And we're going to try to do this very little spoiler-y, because I feel like they're trying to kind of keep the spoilers down with this. But Harry's youngest son, Albus, who does get put into Slytherin House, which I don't think is that big of a spoiler by now, he befriends Malfoy's son, Scorpius, and they get caught up with a Voldemort.
The Dark Lord's finding his way back.
Yes.
It's a challenge to the happiness of the world.
And that's all we're going to say to not ruin it with spoilers. And so my first thing is, it is written as a play, and I knew it was written as a play, and I feel like I don't read a lot of plays, and I felt that made it a much weaker book.
Yeah, because J.K. Rowling's style just does better with books. I mean, considering the fact that on average, the first 3 books were 300 pages, and then subsequently after, you've got 500 and 700.
Longer.
Like, so, and it's not like, her books are really long, but they don't feel that way, so she needs kind of that space.
There's no world
get it all
building.
out.
There's no character development. They expect you to kind of be like, hey, I loved Harry Potter, so I don't need anything more. At times, the story is a little boring.
Oh my gosh, it's super boring. Harry is boring.
Harry is boring.
Harry
is
boring.
Not the best dad in the world. He's not getting a greatest dad's mug anytime soon.
But like the thing is, they're all boring. I don't care about any of them.
Did you think it was interesting that Malfoy was a better dad than Harry?
That was really funny.
That was funny.
Malfoy was the best character in this book.
Actually, I love Scorpius. Malfoy's son Scorpius was my favorite part of the book. I would love to watch a play, read a book, do something about Scorpius. Love Scorpius. Albus was whiny.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know if it's supposed to be that he was like so well raised and he's kind of coddled, and so he's just like a whiner.
It just felt like a bad fan fiction. It felt like a fan fiction where people are working out their issues with the original canon. It was irritating. And it feels like a James Patterson kind of novel where like it doesn't seem like J.K. Rowling had kind of anything to do with it.
And I don't think she did. I think they keep saying that she did, but I don't really think that she had a lot. I mean, there were probably broad strokes with plot and her characters, but I think that's about it. The other thing is, I think it'd be super cool to see. If you read all the stage productions, there's a lot that they're relying on special effects. There are Dementors coming in, and the auditorium gets cold, and things blow up. But seeing that, like, kind of like when you go see Phantom, and Phantom's so cool when the chandelier drops. But reading it, you're like, okay, so.
I don't know, but I think that speaks to how this book didn't do its job. I mean, because
it's not a book.
That's how this play, but like the play didn't do its job either, as far as plot line wise. It didn't come up to snuff plot line wise. So maybe special effects wise and visually it works, but as a story, it doesn't work.
I feel like with plays you get away with that, because think of how many like. You go to see a play and you're like, the story wasn't there, but the songs were so good. So I feel like you don't necessarily need that. I mean
but it's Harry Potter. It started off as a book. Like, it is about the story.
I know.
This is a little different than, like, Phantom, where it is about the songs. But, like, well, Phantom was based on a book, but it's totally different, but still.
I'm just saying, Les Mis, not a lot of story, but they come out and they do you hear the people sing, and you're like, I want the revolution. And let's really quick just talk about the cover. I don't know who this is. Is this supposed to be Albus? Because that's not how he's described. I don't think it's supposed to be Scorpius.
Well,
I don't think it's supposed to, is it Cedric? Is he the cursed child? Because Cedric does make a comeback. So if they make a movie.
What is with that obsession with Cedric?
It's partly Arpats wise, I don't know.
It looks like the child. It looks like a boy child, and it looks like it's in a snitch. And was it Scorpius who was he was really good at playing Quidditch?
I don't think he was, though.
One of them did pretty well at Quidditch.
Albus did not. Plus, I kept thinking, I'm like, and I knew this was in the first book, but it didn't bother me in Deathly Hallows. But I'm like, so Harry and Ginny had 3 kids, and they named them James, Lily, and Albus. I'm like, there was like no creativity looking out into the wizarding world to find other names.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
My only issue, kind of back to that, is Sirius Black does not make a reappearance, and he is my favorite character. Ruins lives. Ruins lives.
So we should just rate it.
I guess so.
So I gave Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and I am trying to judge it based on the fact that it is a play. I gave it 1 fairy. It was entertaining, and I can see, like, as a play, I think they're written to be performed, and I think performed it would be really cool. But as a book, it just does not work.
I'll give it 2 goblins. It didn't work for me. The story wasn't there. It wasn't, I mean, nothing was really all that developed. When Harry and Co came onto the stage, they were boring and I wanted them to go away. Like, that's sad.
I kind of liked Ron. I did kind of like Ron.
I mean, but it seems so, I don't know, it just, where he ended up did not seem kind of where his trajectory was going. But I guess maybe big things happened after the final battle, but that wasn't really addressed in the story anyway.
Yeah. So that's where we are with Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
We're depressed, is what we are.
Just not overly enthused is where I am.
I'm not gonna not buy the book, so.
I'm sorry. I bought the book. It was on sale at Target. And anyway.
I wish you could take it back.
I have all the other books. I feel like I need it. But anyway.
Adios.
Bye.